What's good, man? Flash speaks back for another video. This here is just a continuation, kind of the discussions we've been having about the newest uh, sensational rookies that have been drafted to the WNBA, and in particular, Angel Reese, who had played last night. I'm not going to be able to do a complete breakdown of the game or of her game because I was not able to watch it. I don't have the WNBA League Pass, and this particular game against Dallas was not televised for whatever reason. From what I understand, it was almost it was a good crowd. From what I understand, but for whatever reason, it wasn't televised. So what I'll be doing is a more thorough breakdown of her second game, I think, which comes Saturday, which will be naturally televised. It's a home game in Chicago, so I'll be able to more so break it down. Now, I did look at the box score. It appears Angel Reese scored 12 points, 8 rebounds, and one assist, which sounds like a pretty decent debut. That's some work. Rebounding is something I value very high in a basketball player, especially a post player. And just from watching her game, that's something I think that's just going to come easy and natural for her. Is that. And then scoring in the paint. She's a pretty decent scorer in the paint. What we'll be looking for, I guess, if she wants to enter that superstar status, she'll have to develop more of a jump shot, I guess, or take more jumpers. But the other thing about Angel Reese, what I think makes her great as well, or will make her a great player, is her defense, her impact on the defensive side of the ball. All right, now, but like I said, I'll be able to speak more thoroughly about the game because I have to actually watch a game to really decide whether or not someone played well or not. I gotta consider usage rate, how much this person is made to be a part of the offense. I look at little things like picks you set. I look at things like I look at what they call the hockey assist. If a player makes a pass to another player that makes a pass that ends up being a score, that to me that's good offense. That's a good offensive player. I look at a lot of things that may not show up on a stat sheet, or that maybe your typical guy who comes on here and talks about basketball may not look at. All right, so I'll get into that Saturday. But real quick, first of all, I thank everyone who listened to my video about Caitlin Clark's debut, and those who commented, whether it was those who agreed with me my take and liked my take, or those who disliked it and came on and opposed my take. I don't have a problem with that. Either one is fine. But briefly, to those who agree with me, thanks, and you guys are smart. All right, those who disagree with me, you also smart. However, this is my only thing. Too many of you fellas are coming with arguments that have absolutely nothing to do with basketball. All right, this particular channel is not focusing in on the socio-political or geopolitical ramifications of Caitlin Clark coming into the WNBA. I get, her popularity and the money that it may bring to the WNBA, the eyes that it may bring to the WNBA, maybe something that is newsworthy. It's something that you'll find talked about all over the place in newspapers and on television. Okay, here, I really don't care about that. All right, this is Flash Speaks Sports, and when we're talking sports, I'm talking about actual sports on the that what happens on the court or on the field, depending on the sport that we're talking about. Now, I do have personal political views, absolutely. I do have personal religious views. I do have personal social views, all of those different things. However, this is not the platform where I deal with that stuff. There are platforms where people do that. Those platforms typically make me yawn and bore me because if the speaker is not able to articulate about the actual game, and judge players based on their actual game and break down their actual game, I'm not interested. That just doesn't do it for me. I don't care about, whether or not Middle America approves of, the amount of lesbians that are in the WNBA, right? Though I may have my personal opinion about that lifestyle, that's not going to make me say someone is a bad player because they're lesbian, right? Because the reality is this. I can love Caitlin Clark, but Caitlin Clark being a Jesus worshiping straight woman is not going to automatically propel her to being a better player than someone who might be a lesbian who worships the devil, for example. I use an hyperbole, not saying anyone does that, but that's what I'm saying here. I'm talking about the actual game. That's what I choose to focus on. I'm not interested in what type of agenda Middle America may have against abortions or something like that, and then whether or not they think Caitlin Clark in some indirect way affects these things, or whatever stuff people are spewing on many of these different channels, and I've seen them. You know, they have channels where they're supposedly talking about sports, but really it's everything but sports. Like, they will entitle the video, you know, woke such and such, woke people hating on Caitlin Clark. So you got to understand, I'm a little older than that, right? I was learning about geopolitics before the word woke came about, right? I go back to like original nationalism and so on and stuff like that. Like, this new stuff, this is for the kids. That's for the kids. All that stuff, the woke this and that, conservative this and that. That I don't care about. I want to talk about what is actually happening after the ball is tipped until the whistle is blown. That's what this is. That's what I'm about. All right, so a lot of you guys, though, your arguments are this. Well, Caitlin Clark had the first sellout, and WNBA never did that before. Okay, I want to know, okay, but what was her shooting percentage? That's how I'm going to respond to you. Caitlin Clark brought 2.1 billion or million people's eyes to the game. Okay, well, how many turnovers did she have? And then many of you are just coming with stuff that, like, you know, you're about to create. If she was foolish enough to follow you guys, which I don't think she is, I think she understands the reality. She's an actual basketball player, so I really believe she understands what must be done in terms of her getting to that next level. I think she understands that. You guys are casuals who, many of you, I'm convinced, started watching Caitlin Clark after you saw the image of a black girl mocking her. Unfortunately. But this is what happens oftentimes, right? This becomes a big thing. Okay, so let's look into this. What is this whole thing about her mocking her? And then you find out, wow, this girl is dropping 30 points a night and so on. So you start watching, and now you get on to it. And unfortunately, this is what pulls you in. So those channels where they're talking about the geopolitical ramifications of it and all of that type of nonsense, and, you know, conservative that, anti-woke this, blah, 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 and we're going to make her the face of conservatism, whatever. That's your thing. All right, but when you bring those arguments, all I'm going to do is go on to the next conversation, because I just want to hear about the game. That's it. I don't really care about all of that other stuff. That stuff to me is for CNN and it's for Fox News. All right, and that stuff bores me out, to be honest with you. You know, now if we want to one day have a conversation about those things, make it separate. I just don't see what that stuff has to do with basketball. And when I talk about Reese, when I talk about Caitlin Clark, I'm going to be relegating my commentary to, you know, their games, what they did. All right. And like I said, again, Caitlin Clark did not have a bad debut for a rookie. She did not have a bad debut for a rookie. She did what I was looking for. Typically, when I look at a rookie, I'm looking for just flashes of this or that. And I admitted it, and I said it in the video. She showed those flashes. So that's cool. All right? But, like, what I'm saying is, going into it, what was the stuff people were saying? This is the best women's basketball player ever. Right? It was so crazy to the point where, you know, Dawn Staley had to say, all right, she's one of the GOATs, right? Just because people are saying the GOAT and all of this type of stuff. What I'm saying is, no, I don't see that. Could she develop into that? Time will tell. Right? But I am interested in what's proven on the court. Until I see it on the court, I'm not going to go along with that. Now, did I see, was it the worst rookie player? No, it's fine. But don't give me the 20 points. Right? Those 20 points were on 33% shooting, which is well below standard for any type of player. So don't bring me 20 points. 10 turnovers is outrageous. And then also, Caitlin Clark, even in college, averaged over 5 turnovers a game. Right? Listen, if you understand basketball, she's going to have to work on that. And I understand that she has an extremely high usage rate. So she's always has the ball. Those types of players will generate turnovers. LeBron James has a ridiculous amount of turnovers, and he's some people's GOAT, right? So I get it. Matter of fact, LeBron James is the leader in turnovers in the history of NBA. So and that has a lot to do with the fact he played for a long time. He's averaging high amount of turnovers. But if you're going to be a point guard and you want to have a team that has aspirations of winning a championship, you're going to have to get those turnovers down to about 3.5, which is respectable. But you know, 5 turnovers a game, you just can't do it. And you like loving her, or you loving the fact that she's a middle American straight white girl, is not going to lessen the turnovers. That's all I'm saying. Is she has to go to the lab and do basketball shit in order to turn it over. I mean, to improve. She has to improve. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying about that, man. Y'all cool, but y'all be weirding me out a little bit, man, with the fanboy stuff. You know what I mean? So, peace out, folks. Till next time.